everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Ian Hink.
Hi.
Ben Moore.
Hey.
And Brandon Jones.
What's happening?
For listeners, you missed out on a lot of charm there. As
that's just the beginning.
Ben shot a little handgun at the audience, and then Jones just really mugs at him, just giving them the warmest grin.
I was inspired. I'm usually more inspired by the second person than the first person. I try to build, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have to finish the pattern, basically. Yeah. It's not easy. It's not easy to be the third person at all.
I had a jaunty little wave.
A jaunty wave?
At the very start.
It was partially charming, at least.
Yeah.
I didn't inspire you?
No, that's what I'm saying, by the second person.
Oh, okay.
I'm inspired by it, yeah.
I
got
didn't
confused.
inspire him.
Yeah. I'm thinking of a number
that makes sense.
between 1 and 19. Ian, what do you think it is?
16.
Ben, what do you think it is?
9.
Jones?
10.
Wow. Jones just took it. The number was 11.
Hey! I haven't gotten this yet,
That's
so...
my least favorite number.
Jones has not yet earned the Prove It ticket. So, Jones, if
Sweet.
you disagree with anything that's been said at that moment...
I probably will.
You can just say prove it, and that person will, if possible, have to prove it in that moment. Nice. Werehog's on the line. Let's talk about corrections, though. Begin corrections music, please. Tiny Wings is the game with the cool hill physics.
Yep, correct.
Jones, I have 2 mobile games on my phone.
Tiny Wings is one of them?
I love that game.
It's a good game.
I do too.
I truly, truly love that game.
Yeah.
Never played
But
it.
it's that...
It's like you said, it's the
invisible?
feel.
Whee!
It's
Yeah.
the feel of it. It's just so cool.
Because we were talking about MX versus ATV. I was just saying it's that same kind of... That jolly down it up, down
Good
it up.
comparison.
When you get the game title wrong, not so much.
No, it's fine. We understood where you were coming from. I have to make an apology because I said that, a rare apology, that
I don't think I've ever heard you apologize for anything.
I said day one patches don't take long to download anymore, and apparently they do. I'm just living in a very isolated little bubble with pretty good internet. And then I had so many people explain to me, no, it is bad. There are times where I'm downloading a day one patch for 5 hours.
Wow.
Especially when PSN is just being bad.
Sure.
Like, my internet is 130 down, and I've looked on my PlayStation 4, and the best I've ever seen it was like 30. Normally it's at like 8.
I have no frame of reference for these numbers.
Megabits per second or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So you'd be downloading something that's 2 gigs for 5 hours.
On my PlayStation, whereas on my computer it would take like a minute.
Yeah, and so I feel bad for not thinking of the entire world and the entire country even on in this very country, there's still people who's like, no, that takes forever for me, dude. It is very frustrating. So I hear you, I understand, and I'm sorry for saying what I did. And corrections music, please.
But still, they ain't gonna stop. Like, you know, games aren't finished when they go on the disc anymore.
Damiani told him to stop. They're gonna stop doing that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, if Damiani told him.
Yeah. He said no more day one patches, and they heard him loud and clear.
Okay, cool.
Y'all know my favorite way to start one of these podcasts?
With
Game
a death.
announcement.
Oh.
With a game announcement. But you know what? I saw much more enthusiasm for a DLC announcement than a game announcement before the show. So we're gonna start with a DLC announcement this week. Dark Souls 3 DLC has been announced. Help me with the name. Ariandel.
Yeah,
Ashes of Ariandel. Ariandel, yep.
Ariandel.
Ariandel. Ian?
I mean, Ian is A-R-I-A-N-D-E-L.
You can't spell Ariandel without Ian.
Nice.
Yeah, Ian is the middle of that. The glue holds it together.
Tell someone what you saw in that trailer that excites you about this DLC. Why did a DLC get oohs and ahs?
Just sweet stuff. The setting is really cool. Winter setting. Ben, what you said about how they clearly want to do Bloodborne 2 was very apt. The shield or weapon of some kind that you throw and then it comes back got ooze from us.
So we've had many games, even, I don't know, Borderlands, where I can throw a shield and it comes back.
Disney Infinity, baby.
Yeah, what does it mean in Dark Souls for a shield to get thrown and come back?
It's just a cool new strategy that you can employ.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of ranged weapons that do heavy damage.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like the Moonlight Blade kind of and like stuff like that. But
I imagine there's a cluster of things. That's a good time.
Yeah.
You could just hit them all at the same time.
Or like...
Ooh, a bunch of stupid rats?
Yeah.
Yeah, or you could like strafe around and like hit the boss twice with it from a medium distance.
My gut tells me that it might scale off Faith as well, which could be really cool.
Because it's gold, yeah.
So what I saw from the trailer, though, is it was a well-made trailer. It's strange. In the middle of it, it just puts the words Dark Souls on the screen, and then the trailer keeps going again afterward. Just the tone, though. Just the voice acting, I love big time, always with these trailers. And I didn't get an impression of what the story's about. I don't think I get any of it as I'm playing through the game. Ben, are there large story implications about this expansion?
Oh, I'm sure. I have no idea what they are, and I feel like I have a fairly good grasp on the Dark Souls 3 lore, but I don't know exactly what they're hinting at.
Right, but it feels important.
It feels important, right?
It's so weird.
Right, that's why I said, yeah, this is probably hugely important.
Yeah.
Even though I don't understand
During the trailer,
it.
I was like, "Oh, cool, the actual ending," and I was like, "Well, that doesn't make sense." You know?
Yeah.
Oh, don't you do something? I'm not through the game yet.
No. The feeling I had is that gravitas of like this feels like it's like monumental, like a huge like actual ending, but like the game has an ending.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
What Souls DLC has usually done a very good job of is expanding on something that maybe you didn't realize was as important as it is, like fleshing out another part of the story or going back and contextualizing something in the past. And so hopefully that happens here as well.
It seemed like because it seemed the voiceover guy, who's male, and normally it's been female, I think, in these trailers, but I think he said something like, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but like it was something like, you've made it here. This is the place where we come to, like the Ashen Ones or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if there's some kind of like society of like other Ashen Ones or something that are collecting here. It was interesting in the middle part of the trailer. You see other locations from the game and other enemies that are also already in the game, like Aldrich or whatever. Like the arrows coming down, like that looked like that boss. And it's funny, like I wonder if it's like, because like it showed one of the other locations in the game burning down,
Right.
and I'm like, whoa, is this like super future or other dimension or something? I don't know.
It's cool. October 25th release date. I think maybe besides Destiny, probably the most anticipated DLC of the fall. Right? It's kind of cool to think of it that way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's not a lot of other things that they could say, hey, we have an expansion coming and people are as pumped, or that you can make a trailer like that for.
Legion,
Doesn't
if you want to consider that. Well, not DLC, it's an
Oh,
expansion, but
I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to say it.
Say it.
Say it. It's too late.
Who
You've already
cares?
said it.
Who cares about Legion?
Huber and Brad.
Kyle, I totally understand that sentiment, but the response just to the pre-Legion stuff has been phenomenal. Like, there's actually real anticipation.
So let me tell you about my memory of Legion. It was when they were first announcing it and revealing it in front of a huge crowd. Was it Gamescom or BlizzCon?
I think it was Gamescom last year.
I think it was. And just people sleeping as they were standing because what they were showing of Legion was so boring.
Yeah. And
so we've recovered from that.
They got a demon hunter.
It's crazy, man, because the content drought for World of Drona was just absolutely horrible. I've never seen people hate WoW the way that they've hated WoW for like the last 2 years since that expansion, and the goodwill that some of the Legion stuff has done. It's like, it's miraculous. Like, I don't know how they did it. There's been
drought.
Yeah, they've been doing some really cool things, and then people have been responding to it well.
Okay. So that we'll rank it in top 3. We got Destiny, we got Legion, and we got
it's an expansion. It's different.
In reverse order.
okay.
A little bit. Well, I guess it's bigger in scale.
So the game that I was going to begin the show with,
There have still not been announcements about an Uncharted 4 DLC, right?
it's not going to happen this fall.
Next year.
Next year.
Gotta play multiplayer.
I hope it doesn't have combat in it.
Smash and Grab was a game that was announced
Smash
this
Plus
week.
Grab?
I believe, yeah.
I thought it was an ampersand. I wrote down an
Nope,
ampersand.
it's a plus.
Oh,
It's a
it's a
plus,
plus.
Not only a plus, but they put the words together, so there's no spaces. It's SMASH plus GRAB, no spaces.
Huh.
Well, they're on top of each other in one of the...
But in the actual, like, the YouTube title.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
funny.
So there,
And
that's
all caps as well.
All caps.
That's all we really have to say about the game.
Yep.
It's just got an interesting title. Check that one out. No, it's from United Front Games, who worked on Sleeping Dogs and Mod Nation Racers. What a weird little collection of games that you've developed. This is... I just like the concept, and I think that's why I brought it up on the show. It's a 3 versus 3 gang warfare game where teams compete for loot, weapons, and reputation. Basically, the game is about... Sorry, that was the the writing from the Game Informer news article that just reported that. The game's about racing to get $50,000 as you ransack like a mall or a store. And so the 3 versus 3 is not necessarily a death match. It's who can steal the most money the fastest. And you can kill other people and take their money, but the goal of it is to get $50,000.
It sounds like it could be fun if you just like snake in the back, get the money, and then leave.
Heck yeah.
It sounded to me. The funny thing is, like, it's an entire game, unless there are other modes, which I hope there are. But it's an entire game of that mode that you were talking about from Titanfall. That sounds really cool. Bounty or whatever.
Yeah, that.
I mean, it's a different, obviously,
Yeah.
but like similar in that you get money and then the bank opens and you have to get to the bank, but they can kill you and take the money. Like,
It reminds me a lot of the Kane and Lynch 2 multiplayer, which I always thought was a really, really cool idea.
What
that I
is the
wanted.
Kane and Lynch 2 multiplayer?
So, in the Kane and Lynch 2 multiplayer, you kind of start with this squad, and you've got to go and you've got to get this payload, this money. And once you get the money, then anyone can betray you at any time. And so you can either choose to be like, okay, I'm just going to kill everybody and then try to go get the money myself, or I'm going to use them to like help me get through the bad guys. And then I'm going to betray them. And so it becomes this mind game of like, you have to decide who to trust, or maybe
Yes.
you try to form an alliance with somebody and kill the other guys off. And so, I mean, it's not exactly the same concept as what you're talking about, but I love the idea of you're not just going into something and killing other people for points. Like the whole strategy, and the mental mind games that you have to play could be really, really cool.
My favorite old StarCraft mod was about creating alliances and then betraying your alliances. Like, that was part of the game. And I love that.
we should play an epic game of diplomacy. It's a board game. It's like Risk, but there aren't dice.
No dice.
You plan all your moves out ahead of time, and like there's a phase of the game, of the board game, called the diplomacy phase, where you literally get up and like walk into the bathroom and talk to somebody because you don't want anyone to hear you, and you're just like, hey Ben, if you help me take out here, I'll give you Portugal or whatever, and then I go, and then you go to Jones, like Ian's gonna screw you over here. What do you give me? And it's amazing.
That'd be a perfect game for us.
It'd be incredible. It ruins friendships.
Smash and grab, maybe not, but
Smash plus grab.
I thought it'd be worth bringing up.
I got nice state of emergency vibes from this.
Wait, nice state of emergency vibes?
I love state of emergency.
Do you?
Everybody. State of emergency gets a lot of flack. I because everybody thought it was going to be something other than what it was, and like that game was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Like No Man's Sky.
Because it came out after Grand Theft Auto, didn't it?
Oh yeah, way
okay.
after. But it was
so expectations were high. For
they
Rockstar.
looked at it and it kind of looked like the same character models and like way more violence, way more blood, but it was.
I feel like that is what that game is cursed to be remembered as, is the game after Grand Theft Auto 3.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm curious how much that made actually. I thought it was a flop just in reviews or the money that made, but it just kind of looks like something, maybe a game where like you're not necessarily that frustrated when you lose. It's just kind of fun to just run in there and change up strategies, and kind of looks like The Division.
Yeah.
I have to say, I don't mean this in an antagonistic way, but it's hard for me to imagine you playing StarCraft just because you don't have a huge history with PC games.
Yeah, man. I'd played a lot of StarCraft. The mode was called Evolves.
Cool.
And basically, you all started off. Oh man, I don't know if I have time on this podcast to explain how much I loved this one game mode. It was all I played. I didn't play single player. I didn't play normal multiplayer.
We should play it
Yes.
together.
StarCraft 1?
StarCraft 1. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All
Kyle,
right.
this
Like,
is so
I'm
cool.
not joking.
Okay.
I
love
love
this.
StarCraft. Let's do it.
I'll look for it. I'll see if I can find Star. I bet Blizzard still sells it, don't they?
Evolves?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You can get a
StarCraft.
cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
I don't know, but how are we gonna find that mod? Like, who has
There's
it
some
still?
German
Oh.
website running that.
I
mod.
guarantee you, at least 10 comments will help you out
Okay.
on this video.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll talk about that later. That's a whole thing.
We're gonna do a video.
We'll do a video about it because I really, really like this mode. I think it's a good game in itself.
It could be the next MOBA.
It could be the next MOBA. Hold on though. Imagine if competitive esports, part of it is betraying your teammates.
Yeah.
Amazing, dude.
The stories that would come out of that.
Oh, that would
Yeah.
be so
Oh
awesome.
my god.
Like if the team wins, they get this amount of money, but if only if one person's left, they get all the money.
All the money.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
like
the
a whole-
prisoner's dilemma. Like every time there's a tournament, like we could all get a good amount of money, but if I betray my team, I'll get all the money.
Yes.
Oh my god. Let's start this. The Easy Allies Esports Evolves StarCraft 1 MLG tournament.
There's different teams every year because they always split up because they just yell at each other when it's over. And...
What we have some of the hottest gossip we're gonna have all fall, and we're just wasting time on this good fun stuff, and I love it. We got some more
good fun stuff.
We got some more good fun stuff before we get to the juicy stuff, actually.
Sweet.
Because I love game announcements so much, and I know this one is as old as it gets, announced hours after recorded last week, but we have to talk about it on this podcast. A game called Metal Gear Survive.
I missed this entirely. I didn't see.
Oh, good, Ben Jones.
You are one of the blessed.
I caught you guys in Slack talking about how crappy it was, but I didn't look it up. I have no idea what it is.
I was shocked. I got home after recording the podcast last week and just kind of floored by this thing. I came to terms with it eventually, as I tend to do. What Metal Gear Survive is a game by Konami. Konami made this announcement.
They're still making video games.
This is a game for the PC and Xbox One and PlayStation 4. It's a game. It's a $30 game. It's a budget game, Jones. It is a
not budget enough
multiplayer survival game. Imagine what you do with the stealth game of Metal Gear Solid 5, but incorporating that into a survival world. Jones, don't leave me yet.
Okay, no wait. Are we talking survival like Resident Evil survival, or like
wow?
Or
yes,
like,
we are.
Or like defense survival, where it's like waves are coming in and you gotta.
Jones, because there are zombies here.
Okay.
At the beginning of this game's story, the team from Ground Zeroes is ported off into another realm, another world.
Wait. To be
Through
more clear,
wormholes.
all the important characters fly away from this game as fast as they can in a helicopter,
and
then
watch them in the
everyone who's
cutscene.
left over
Yeah.
gets sucked into a vortex in the sky.
Yep.
To a
To go
parallel
fight
dimension
zombies.
covered with hordes of waves of zombies.
Yep.
I don't know if it's... Is it waves? I don't know if it's waves.
We don't know if it's
But
waves.
it's hordes of zombies.
Yep.
I don't hate this game so far.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so Jones, that's fair, man. Why don't you hate this game? Why can't you?
I like
be as
survival.
mad as
I do like that genre.
Okay.
I like zombies. I like survival. I like like a game that has a strong. Is this basically like 5? Are they just using the same engine? Or are they?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like 5. I'd have to look at it. I don't.
Yeah,
No,
you
don't be
haven't seen
ashamed.
it.
Because the actual like vibes you get from the video itself, I could be. Could be making me look extremely stupid right now.
Imagine the skulls, but zombies, but all wearing like Splinter Cell goggles on their head, but they're red.
Okay.
And then
Are
they're
they
like
quick like that?
shambling around.
Do they do the jumping and the?
they're
They don't-
quick.
not as much
They're
as
not
the
like
skull using
skulls.
it did,
They
no.
just kind of look sort of like that, but they're
Okay.
all behind fences, and it feels a lot more like Dying Light than Resident Evil.
Let me put it this way.
Okay.
I would try any franchise doing something like this. Where you're like, we're just gonna add zombies and then work with that. I'd be like, just try it. I'm not gonna yell at you for trying that because that could
for
be fun.
free, or do you feel comfortable giving Konami $30?
No, I'm not gonna be doing that.
Okay,
no.
sure.
Yeah.
Then
that's the
let's
issue.
all try it. Pirate this game, and then we'll.
Yeah, we're all pirating it, right? We're all gonna pirate this game.
We're getting codes.
Yeah. Ben, obviously, we already talked about this at great length on Frame Trap. What do you think this means? I think a lot of people were surprised that Konami would announce a console game again. I think we all thought they were done. I think
Yeah.
they even said they were done.
I thought they actually said they were done.
Do you think we'll see more Konami games in the future?
Yeah, but I imagine they'll feel very similar to this.
Which is to say what?
I mean, everything that you just described about Metal Gear Survive, that sounds like some sort of collective, like some sort of gathering of suits propose this idea. You know what I mean? Where like it's trying to have a certain mass appeal that I just can't get behind. Like I just don't know. I just don't understand the point. Other than leveraging a name to make a multiplayer shooter. So
Leveraging a name, kind of like Umbrella Corps, huh?
Yeah.
And the thing is Umbrella Corps was $30 as well.
Yeah.
And so as soon as you said that, that's.
Well, at least Umbrella Corps was like kind of a new engine. Like it kind of looked different
sure.
and played different. It wasn't like, oh, they clearly just took that game and cloned it and added some more stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas this sounds like
But
exactly
also,
what that
like,
is.
Capcom is still doing acceptable things,
Yeah.
whereas Konami is just like, oh man.
I was trying to think of a traditionally single player series that is like really, really, really well respected. I'm not talking B tier. I'm talking AAA tier, classic name franchise that has made multiplayer only games that I've enjoyed, and I couldn't think of one.
Didn't they even try this with Silent Hill? Like that Book of Memories thing is like a weird multiplayer like
Yeah, on the Vita.
top-down-
On the
yeah,
Vita, it's like a Diablo-like
Yeah,
game.
it's like a dungeon crawl. Yeah. I was gonna say they're gonna do this with Silent Hill next, but I'm like they kind of already did.
Ben, this might be an exception. I hate this game, but there's The Legend of Zelda: Four Swords Adventures.
Yeah, that's why I included myself, because I don't like Four Swords Adventures
Great.
either. Because
Sweet.
I always don't love those games. I don't think Four Swords Adventures is a poorly constructed game, but I always hate the feeling that when you're playing something, you wish you were playing something else. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Sometimes when
Wow.
I'm playing Four Swords Adventures, not that I necessarily think it's bad, but I'm just kind of like, man, I want a better single-player Zelda rather than this.
I know this isn't exact. In a weird way, it's like the ultimate answer to your question, but I know it's not exactly how you meant it. But Warcraft, respected
Sure.
single-player game that became a massively multiplayer game that you also liked. But I mean, it's not
Sure.
a multiplayer shooter experience like blah blah blah.
Right.
Ian, that's a really interesting answer to that question.
Whoa.
Okay.
There are some people who say they ruined Warcraft.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some people who would much rather prefer the old real-time strategy.
The weird thing is, like, the thing that's funny is this is a move that's, I don't know, lateral or whatever. It's like they're using the same engine. It looks similar. You're still third person, I think. Whereas World of Warcraft is like you went from here in Warcraft as an RTS to, an entirely different.
Right. And
So
like
it's,
John
like,
said, like it's less
pretty
experimental as with Capcom's
Yeah.
Umbrella
It's
Corps.
It sounds like Capcom's basically going to be someone's going to come in and be like, "Hey, I played this crazy mobile game," or "Hey, we just got this fun developer that wants to make this kind of game," and then they're just going to look up at their 4 or 5, big franchises and just pick
Konami
one and be
is?
like, "Yeah," and then just be like, "Okay, just wedge that franchise into whatever idea you just had,
Yeah.
and we'll sell it for 10, 20, $30 and make a little bit."
Ian, sorry.
So yeah, I see them doing that again. You were asking, like, is Konami going to continue to make games? Like,
they're gonna milk the cow long after it's dead.
Ben, you had one more question?
Oh yeah, just going back to the World of Warcraft thing, because you made me really think about it. Is at least that continued the story exactly. I mean, it picked
Sure,
up,
yeah.
the
It
moment
didn't
of
just say,
where
"What if this happened?"
the Frozen Throne ended, and
Yeah.
you got closure with a lot
Yeah.
of those threads. Where I hate playing these games. And you were saying like all the main characters get in a helicopter and fly away. It's
They
like, why
fly
does this
away.
matter?
It's
Where's
like
the
they
point
run
of
away
this?
from
Yeah. So
They
that was all I
look
wanted
and
to
they
say.
make the choice to be like, fuck that game, and they fly off in a helicopter. Like, that's how the trailer starts. It's a great vote of confidence if the characters within the world say nope.
Man, I wonder if those wormholes are canon, though. I realize it's nice it's an alt universe, but
Here's the thing, though, like, if the captain of the ship jumps off the ship, the cannons don't matter anymore. There is no cannon. He took the cannons with him off the ship.
we're spelling cannons with two N's.
I know.
now.
I'm using both versions of canon in this metaphor.
Are you all ready
analogy.
for some real juicy stuff? Are
Oh,
we
so
there
ready.
yet?
So
Are we ready to
ready.
talk about some juicy news?
That made me really
Can I-
hungry.
Can I have one more thought about Metal Gear Survive?
Please.
Okay, just one more quick thought. When I think back on Metal Gear Solid 5, the story is not what I hold most dear, and I wish that wasn't the case. I mostly love how that it plays in that engine, in that style. And so maybe if, and I guess in a positive light, if a lot of that is captured, it will sting a lot less for me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, like Brandon said, we'll just play more Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Metal Gear
If this,
5
yeah.
if
cool
this
game.
game has the gameplay of Metal Gear 5 without any of the story,
Yeah.
it might actually be kind of...
Because that's the thing. Like, I found myself, like, there was part of my brain that's like, why are you continuing to play Metal Gear Solid 5? Like, there's
Yeah.
you're going to get zero reward from this story. Like, you've been to this location 500 times.
Yeah.
You moron. Put the controller down, play another game. And, like, the other part of my brain was just like, this is too much fun. Like,
Yeah.
I want to go back to that location because I have been to that location many times. I'm going to kick that location's ass. Like, I'm going to do really well at this game. So even if it, I'm kind of bummed that they're actually going to, like a new zone. Like, there's some maps in there that's like, oh man, that village where I got Miller out of, I'd love to, pick some spots I know are in there and defend that place from zombies. Like, again, not because like that's going to be the gaming experience of 2016, but like, I'll probably play that.
It's funny
But
because
$30, I don't know, but
Sure.
like,
I had the exact same thought process, and I went the other way. I stopped playing Metal Gear Solid 5,
Right.
like before Chapter 2 even. Are we
It's
going to
kinda-
talk?
It's like No Man's Sky now. It's just
Right,
like
I was just
I
gonna
should
say,
stop playing.
Are we
going
going
to
to talk about No Man's Sky at all?
We did too much last week.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just
It was
say a
half
really
the
quick
show last
thing?
week.
Can I just say a really quick thing?
We got some juicy stuff.
It's just really quick. It's
Okay.
a PSA.
All right, we got a PSA.
It's a PSA. I'm not actually going to say the ending of this game, but I'm going to keep my hand up until I'm done talking about it in case you want to remain completely unsullied. But my recommendation...
Fast forward 10 seconds if you're listening.
Right. My recommendation with No Man's Sky, look up the ending. Look up the ending of the game. If you get to the center of the galaxy, look up the ending of the Atlas Stones thing. Because, goddamn, it is offensive. It is offensively terrible. I now agree with your score. I thought you were too harsh, but now I agree with it. And
You're welcome.
if I had wasted 40 hours to get to the center of the galaxy and then the thing that happened, I would have been pissed. So angry. Anyway, so look it up. Don't waste your life. Look it up. Wait. Stop playing No Man's Sky until they put more content in it. Because the game's going to be amazing a year from now, but you're just wasting your time right now. Okay.
Kind of like what Brandon just said about the story of Metal Gear Solid 5. If you're having a good time playing that game, I'm not going to say stop it.
Well, stop your expectations that
Right.
there's going to be an amazing conclusion.
Sure.
when you're-
Yeah. I guess if that's the
But
thing pulling
I
you
could-
through.
I
Gotcha.
could give a crap about Atlas. I'm not. Yeah, that's
Right.
not why I'm continuing that.
We got some juicy news, though.
That's just.
We got some real juicy news.
Part of me really wants to derail it again. So
It's
we
the
never
kind
do
that
this
once you
How straight
take,
up skeeving on this news
once
right
you
now.
take a chomp out of this grapefruit, it squirts right back out of your mouth.
This is making me feel things.
I need a
Weirdly
shower right
aroused
now.
about grapefruits right now?
A slim version of the PlayStation 4 images leaked onto the internet this week, and I don't feel good calling it a leak because what happened is someone was able to obtain some slim PlayStation 4s and sold them online through a website, not eBay, but was able to sell them to regular people. It's real. It's a real product that runs and is there and exists. And now we get to talk about this thing far in advance of Sony expecting us to talk about this thing. So, obviously we don't know the price. We know that it is not smaller if you look at it from the top down. Its width and length is almost not different at all. Only its height is different. And I would say it's about 60% of the height it used to have.
So it's slim.
It's slimmer. Yep. It's flatter, basically.
Yeah.
It is missing an optical out, but generally pretty much the same. There were some revisions to the controller. Yeah, but weird little ones. You can now see the light from the front of the bar through the touchpad.
Whoa.
Yeah, and who knows why, but that's there.
Cheaper touchpad.
Yeah, and honestly, the console itself, if I were to describe it, looks cheaper. It looks like a flat, rounded, very dense plastic, all matte finish. You know what I mean? It's not shiny anymore.
It's rounded?
Yeah, it's like gently rounded.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's kind of losing. It's got a little bit of the old angle to it.
It doesn't look like the Batmobile anymore?
It looks like the tumbler.
Ah. But a rounded tumbler.
It looks like a rounded tumbler. Yeah. So that's a product. That's a thing.
But it's like 4K and more powerful, right?
No, that's the Neo.
Oh. I have to say I'm disappointed with the juiciness of this news, Kyle. This is nothing news.
I got more juicy news to come.
Let's skip this.
No. This is still juicy. This is still juicy.
This ain't juicy at all!
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess a
Juicy!
slim juicy. A slim PlayStation always comes.
Yeah, who
and
cares?
It always happens. Yeah, I guess not. I guess it's weird. I guess it's coming soon. Obviously, if people are able to obtain it through whatever means they were able to.
Come on, November.
No, I mean it's coming out probably September 7th.
Come on, September 7th.
Probably the day they announce the Neo.
You're right. Hey, everybody, here's this thing as well. It's going to be very cheap. We have to hope it's cheap, correct? It's clearly cheaper to manufacture. Some cutbacks were made. There's no strip of light on the top of it
$50
anymore.
cheaper.
Is that your prediction?
50 to 75, maybe 100, but $50 cheaper.
100 would be crazy.
I have a bet,
Jones.
and this might not be interesting at all, but like, are they going to mention this at the PlayStation meeting? Are they going to say, and now we have an announcement, some of you might already be playing on it, but
Yeah.
now we have the slam. Are they going to reference the fact that these are sold?
Ooh, that's a fun bet.
to make their little joke, because people have made that joke at Sony events before, but I don't know if Sony themselves, like, the amazing man, the Street Fighter guy, whose name I always forget.
Yoshinori Ono.
Ono came out and he said, you already know this news, but we're just gonna tell you anyway.
Yeah.
And I can't remember, just another classic leak from somebody coming out of a Sony event and saying, okay, we really want to surprise you with this, but oh well.
Actually, the example I can think of was after the hacks, just kind of acknowledging that straight off.
Right, no, but that was Trenton.
Was
Yeah,
really
they
good.
did do that.
Yeah.
But again, that was like, people's, not bottom lines, but like their accounts were affected by that. They lost money.
Yeah.
Or did not receive what they paid for because of that. Where this is just news. So.
Jones, I'll take the bet. I say they won't.
They won't? Well, see, I don't know. That's the thing. Like,
They're going to acknowledge.
I don't know if I say they will.
You think
either.
they will?
Yeah. When they announced that it's going to be a bundle with the VR.
So Blood was talking about how they took down the video. People posted unboxing videos of this PS4 Slim. He was telling us just before we recorded that they demanded those videos be taken off the internet. And they have been. So that leads me to think, no, they're not going to joke about this at all. That's no sense of humor about it.
The thing to me is like, why?
Why what?
Why take them down? Why care if it got leaked early?
It F's up your message.
What's your message? Like, it's the same weird thing about the Xbox Slim that I don't understand. It's like, hey, a better one is coming out in 6 months. Buy this cheaper one in the meantime that you already have. I mean, if you don't have one, why wouldn't you just wait for a Neo?
I totally
Scorpion?
disagree. Like, imagine you have this PlayStation meeting, and it's all good vibes on PlayStation, and they manage to hype you up, and then you say, hey, we've got this thing that you can either get right now or very soon. I think that adds so much to the message if you don't know about it beforehand. If they have that thing, even if it is just a slimmer console, they can say, like, hey, you're super excited about PlayStation right now. Why don't you check out this thing? That's
right,
can
but
be
what
right in your hands.
What I was saying is them being like Johnny Law. It's like why everybody hates Niantic now is like, if you come in and sick your lawyers on people who are just hyped about your stuff, that doesn't make you look good,
I mean, I don't think this is the same thing because they just didn't want the announcement spoiled. That's all.
But I mean, it's already been spoiled. I'm talking about specifically taking the videos
Oh.
down. I'm like,
Requesting
why
videos taken
do
down.
that?
I get
it. Just
it.
makes you look like an asshole.
But
Sure.
you want your console to look shiny and sleek. You want those cameras zoomed in, going off it so slow, instead of just some ugly cell phone pictures and then everybody makes fun of it in the comments, is
Yeah.
basically what they're dealing with right now. I think the comments will stay the same.
Right.
No matter how sexy the announcement video is. But yeah, you want that announcement. You don't want the first impression of that console to be some guy's unboxing video.
I just think it's like, I don't know, maybe I don't get the point of Slims. I mean, tell me if you guys know why Slims are cool.
Oh, Slims are cool for manufacturers because they're cheaper to make.
Right, but I mean, like, why do we care about Slims at all?
We shouldn't, I guess.
We should, especially when the Neo is coming. It's like, if you don't have a PS4 yet, wait for the Neo.
I actually have anecdotal evidence for this.
Okay.
I used to work at a video game store back in the Midwest, and I worked there for a long time, like about 4 years. And I went through like several PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 revisions. Every single time a new version of a PlayStation 3 or an Xbox 360 came out, you would have people come in and they'd be like, "Oh, I've been thinking about buying that for a long time.
Yeah.
There's a new one out. I guess I'll just like." There's like this psychological thing where you feel like because it's been refreshed, because it's been updated, now is a good time for you to hop in.
Which I 100% see.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about right now I don't understand is both Xbox and PlayStation have both said there's a better version of this on the horizon.
But less affordable.
I think that's really close.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I imagine that it'll cost what a PS4 costs now or a little more. And the Slim will be cheaper.
But there's always that huge chunk of the audience that's been waiting for it to drop $50 or $100.
Yeah,
so.
and I acknowledge that. But on the same token is like, if you've waited this long, and I know that finances aren't the same for everyone, but like, given the time difference, set aside that time difference's worth of money, and you can afford the Neo. In theory. Obviously, I don't know everyone's situation, but you know what I mean? Like, if the Neo comes out in 6 months, I don't know when it comes out, but like,
Yeah, I just
instead
don't know.
of buying this now, save another $100 and buy the better system.
But it's not always just setting aside the money that is the issue. There are some people out there that say I'm only willing to spend this much money on a video game console. Period.
Sure.
Not necessarily like I.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's
a
what it
good
is.
point.
Right. It's easier to justify the cost of the cheaper one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I bet also something I just thought of too, gifts.
Yeah.
Like if you're like a grandma or a parent or whatever, and it is cheaper, and you say, okay, yeah, I'll jump in on this PS4 thing and get it for my kids, you know, that probably happens. I mean, it's a good business move for them. I just don't see it as juicy news.
How about this then?
Ooh.
The cost of PlayStation Plus is going from $50 to $60 on September 22nd.
Oh.
For the year? Or for a...
60
for the
a
year.
year.
Okay.
$60
How much does
a
Xbox
year.
Live Gold or whatever it costs?
$60 a year.
Oh, well. Yeah.
So let me here's what's really fun. So basically the way this news was revealed, Sony did it in the most ineloquent way possible. They had their post for what's going to be coming on PlayStation Plus this month, the month of August. Here's your free
drop.
games this month. Yep. And then for some reason they just updated that story from the past and said, "Oh, by the way, we have we're going to charge you more money at the end of this month." And so I want to read you the language, which I think is very funny.
Yes.
PlayStation Plus strives to enrich your PlayStation experience through a world-class service built for our fans. This marks the first time that PlayStation Plus membership prices will increase in the US and Canada since the launch of the service in 2010. The new pricing reflects the current market conditions while enabling us to continue providing exceptional value to our members.
Not this is the first time we have increased it. This is the first time we will increase it.
Ah.
Oh,
The
God.
have versus will in that sentence
Yeah.
is brutal.
Yeah, you're right, isn't it?
Get in while you can.
Yeah.
It's going to be 65 in a year.
Sure.
This reminds me of when the way that they announced that on the PS4 that PlayStation Plus would be required to play multiplayer.
Yeah.
He just kind of like, it was during all that hubbub about like, you can use used games, you can do this, you can do that. They were just dropping bombs all over Xbox.
Yeah.
And then he literally just kind of like swept it under the rug, like PlayStation Plus will be required for multiplayer, but you got used game. You know, like in the thing, he just said it once and no one reacted.
It was like, oh,
And
yeah.
I remember at the time being like, wait, what? They're douching us like Xbox Live now. Why is no one reacting to this? And no one did.
Yeah.
At the time, it seemed like they love to just stealth change stuff like this about PSN.
Yeah. So, I mean, Ben, I'll pose this to you.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation Plus isn't what it was, I would argue, in 2010.
Yeah.
I think the perception has been, since the launch of the PlayStation 4, the value of the games has been less. And yet, Sony's saying, hey, for us to keep up this value, we need to charge you more. And I think that's where people are getting upset about this announcement. Where do you stand on this?
Honestly, I'm very frustrated. PlayStation Plus is something I have to have for my job. I have to be able to play PlayStation 4 games online.
Sure.
So it's a necessary thing. But when
Tax deductible.
yeah, well, when they're saying, hey, we're doing this to make sure you have a great PSN experience, most of the time I'm having a horrible PSN experience.
Yeah.
Just like Ian was saying, like
Yeah.
the download speeds are super
If this
slow.
increases the server speed.
Like I have, it's that is always a constant frustration. It takes me way longer to download things than it should, and I don't understand why PSN speeds have been slow like since the days of the PS3.
Yeah.
Also, just like the PSN store is really frustrating for me. I often feel like finding things on there can be very, very difficult, like needlessly so.
I don't want to railroad you, but
Sure.
I have a perfect example of this.
Yeah.
2 days ago, I was looking at the Hitman full experience or whatever, and the image is Agent 47 on a white background. And the way that the stupid store looks now is you tab down, right? And then the description of the game rises up.
Yeah.
It's white text.
Yeah.
I could not read it. I could only read the middle part over Agent 47.
That's
could not
so
see
awesome.
any of the rest of it.
I can't tell you how
At
many
all.
times I wanted like extra like DLC or a demo for something, and you search and the game comes up and you click on the games and it says related items, but the related item that you want isn't there.
Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
That day was so hard to find it.
You had to search it by exactly to find the platinum demo for Final Fantasy 15. You had to search platinum demo, but I was like searching 15. Like.
Also, it's a franchise. If it's a franchise like Resident Evil or Final Fantasy, something that has like a bunch of old games. You type that in and it'll be like, here's the 8 most relevant. And it's like, I typed the only word that's in that title. Give me everything.
Or like the way that trailers work. Come on. You have to like sit there and you're like, is it playing? Is it not playing? And then there's no sound for like 15 seconds. Oh,
it's weird because I feel like it is a service that has gotten worse over time. Like a lot of the problems that I have with the store, I didn't always have. And you're totally right about the PlayStation Plus games. I would say about once every 3 months, there's a PlayStation Plus game that I'm really interested in and excited about. But a while ago, it used to be like, I would look forward to that PlayStation blog post, like, holy cow, what are they giving us for free this month?
Yeah.
And that level of excitement just isn't there.
Is there a possibility they're going to announce something cool at the PlayStation meeting regarding PSN?
Yes, and I think if that is the case, announcing the price increase now is the good idea. Because if you attach that to your announcement, it's you got to take the good and the bad.
Yeah, it puts a sour.
If there isn't something good about it on the 7th, what's going on?
Yeah, that's bad.
You have to, if you increase price, you have to say, we're going to make the network better. What's hilarious, I just realized, I just recently rewatched the PlayStation meeting from 2013. In that PlayStation meeting, Sony boasts that they will have the fastest gaming network of all time. And it's so funny to hear you talk about it now.
It's abysmal.
Oh man, I found so many things in that press conference that never came to fruition.
The weird thing with the language here, I can't remember exactly, to maintain the quality, to keep up this level of quality. Whatever.
The new pricing reflects the current market conditions while enabling us to continue providing exceptional value.
Continue
to our
providing
members.
exceptional value.
Yeah.
Change continue providing to increase.
Yeah.
The value provided.
Yeah.
Like,
we'll give you more. You have to say, if you give us more, we'll give you more.
Exactly. We have to say we're fixing the infrastructure so that it won't have weird. Like, you won't have to go into your DNS server and use some weird one in San Francisco to try to make it faster. Like,
David Perry, the CEO of Gaikai, came out and spoke for 10 minutes in that press conference, the old PlayStation meeting. And one of the things he says is, you will be able to go to the PlayStation store and look at any PlayStation 4 game and just play a demo of the game like that. We'll stream it to your console.
Wow.
It's so funny.
Also, like, no games have demos, pretty much.
It's very fun to go watch that PlayStation meeting again.
That's funny.
It's good. It's good stuff.
How many times, even though you should like know that it's going to happen, you download a game and you play it, and then you're like, oh no, wait, I haven't downloaded the 30 to 40 gigs of application data. Yeah. Like, it says I could start it, but I can't.
Oh, we hit a door.
Yeah.
We hit a little loading door.
It's weird that they've started doing that because I think in their mind they're trying to do it like Blizzard, except Blizzard's servers and network or whatever are actually fast enough for that server or for that service to work correctly. Because like Blizzard games, it's playable at 80%. You play it and you have enough content to, by the time it's done downloading, you're not even to that part yet. I think that PlayStation thinks that that's how their network works. Like, they're in their building when they're testing it. They're like, this is great. You download Street Fighter V. By the time you're done with the tutorial, you got the rest of the game downloaded and you can play it. Whereas in reality, because their download speeds are 6 megabits per second or whatever, you have to sit there for 30 minutes or more waiting for the game to finish. It's hilarious.
More juicy news. So we saw the actual physical unboxing and images of the PlayStation Slim. There were Foxconn rumors, I guess, ahead of time, even drawings of what the PlayStation 4 Slim would look like. In conjunction with these, rumors that the PlayStation Neo will be 10 pounds of a console. Just a big old hefty machine.
The Neo or the Slim?
The Neo.
Oh.
And that there will be a PSP-like device that Foxconn is also producing. And so basically we're just left to wonder those... I'm sorry, do you hear that sound? My golly, I think it sounds like it's podcast halftime!
Snuck up on me that time. The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of August. Michael Kazachenko, Mango, Sweet Justice, a sound design company based in England that's worked on Battlefield, Mirror's Edge, and Call of Duty. You can see their work at www.sweetjustice.audio. Scorn, an atmospheric horror adventure developed by Ebb Software, set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information. YoYoTricks.com, a tutorial website for teaching people how to yo-yo. To buy yo-yos and learn how to get started, visit YoYoTricks.com or their YouTube channel. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Somber.
Very somber.
Dude,
it gets gradually more somber
Yeah.
as time goes on.
I was watching some game, like the trailers of that. Those tapestries are somber.
They're
dude.
extremely somber.
They're somber.
And those forms so odd.
Yes.
I hope you get to collect the tapestries. It's like
Yeah.
somber tapestry number 5. It's like you can watch it later.
It's got to be an achievement at least.
You all right there, man?
Sorry, I'm getting cozy.
We made Ben uncomfortable.
Like middle school.
No, I just
Most allies completely reject the red pillow. I kind of like the red pillow to lean back, but like I noticed when we first started doing the podcast, whoever was here was like,
I don't want that pillow. I gotta be honest.
Immediately, we're done with pillows. But
Do you know what it is, Brandon? We don't have Sophie here today, and Sophie's usually comforting. And
Oh, okay.
I'm needing some
too
sort of
much
replacement.
too much
yeah.
negative Sony news coming at you.
Sure,
You need it.
sure.
Yeah,
You need
yeah.
a teddy bear.
Something to hold.
Yep.
Yeah, the truth is, I really don't want to talk about any more of those. Like, to me, it's just like,
Let's
well,
move on.
What does it mean that it's 10 pounds? Yeah, that's we're moving on.
Good.
It's now time for Love and Respect.
Love and respect.
So our first question, we prepared for actually. Let's do this one then. The Olympic Games just ended, and while there is no gold medal for gaming yet, something game-related happened last Sunday. As you all might know, at the closing ceremony, the city country that will host the next Olympics does a little performance to create expectation. The following video is part of the Tokyo, Japan presentation. There's a link in there, and we all watched that video. As you can see, among other cultural icons, Pac-Man and Mario are featured in this video. It ends with Japan's Prime Minister appearing with a green pipe, from a green pipe, dressed as Mario in the middle of the Maracana Stadium in front of 95,000 people, plus the worldwide TV audience. I don't know about you, but I think this is a big deal. Having a country representative dress as a video game character at an event like this. What do you guys think? Is this something important / relevant to the industry? Love and respect, Cesar.
The sound is extremely bad in this video, and the laughter from the crowd when he first transforms into Mario and
Yeah.
Mario goes like running down the street like I gotta get to Rio.
Yeah.
Is you can clearly hear
And
the crowd
applause.
just
Cheering and laughing.
just everybody just never
Recognizable.
ever played a Mario game in their life, but oh yeah, there's Mario.
Everyone knows Mario. Yeah.
I think, sorry to interrupt the panel here, but I'm taking the position that this is incredibly significant.
Yes,
To me,
I agree.
it is so crazy that the way that Tokyo chooses to represent itself to the world is by selecting Mario. To say, we're so proud of Mario. Mario is one of the things that we created that we are proud of. And to see that video game character, their prime minister, Shinzo Abe, I believe it was, dressed up as Mario and just being goofy. Dressed up as a video game, I think that's huge.
But I mean, like, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it is huge. And like Mario was the centerpiece for sure, but there's also anime in there. There's also like Ayasato and Bambi are in there. They're really good dancers. Like
Hand dancers.
they're amazing.
The
Yeah.
soccer player guy.
Yeah, there's like so it's interesting. They ticked on many of the like big Japanese cultural exports. But yeah, Mario being the centerpiece is awesome. I think it's so cool.
I remember the handoff from China to London when it was just like, we have a double-decker bus. It's like, okay. It's just like, it wasn't a huge video presentation like that. It was just like, look at our fancy dresses, look at our buses. And then they're like, "Wow, we're so happy to have the Olympics next." It's like, okay, good. Yeah, all right.
Was it
And
the
so-
Chinese opening ceremony or closing
It's always the
ceremony?
cloning.
Where they had
Oh.
the like all those people doing that really like elaborate choreographed thing where they were all like parts of a giant whole. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I know
When
the
we all
drumming's from
reali-
the opening.
It was and we all realized like, oh boy, if we ever go to war with China, we are hosed. because they're very
With like the
coordinated.
droids at the drums. Yeah, I think that was the
Yeah.
opening ceremony.
And they were all like,
Yeah, like Cartman had a nightmare about that. Yeah, it was a good
Yeah,
episode.
it was cool. Anyway, this is great.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's great about it is it reminds you that, like, you know, we can trash Mario Party, we can say that, you know, Nintendo's fumbled so many things with the Wii U, but like Mario is still wonderful. Like Mario is still a character that that you just love. Like Charles Martinet's just the greatest person ever. Like, I think there's just a lot of joy surrounding that character still. Thank goodness. You know that of the times Mario has not made the best game ever. And for me personally, being frustrated that like I don't feel I have, you know, I did not like Mario Sunshine. Like I'm still waiting for that next great, you know. I didn't like Mario Sunshine.
What about Galaxy, you weirdo?
Galaxy was fun. Galaxy was fun, but it just didn't. It just doesn't feel the same. It just literally like I have yet to play a Mario game that has captured my imagination like 64.
Okay,
that's
fair.
That I
Yeah,
feel that I picked up that controller and I was like, I cannot stop playing this game. Every Mario game since I've easily put behind and played something else. But that's just.
I
me.
think
We have a strong
think-
objection coming.
No, I just.
I wasn't making a comment about the Mario franchise.
No,
I was
I
commenting
just-
about him as a character.
yeah.
They're like, it doesn't matter what you think about the games. You
What
know,
is-
seeing him, you know, like it's gonna be great. We're gonna do the Olympics.
I
It's
think
like, I hope that
Galaxy-
continues. In 4
Galaxy's
years from now,
amazing.
I hope
Yeah.
that they keep doing more of that. I hope that Mario pops up.
It is
in-
really
in
funny,
other
though,
various
that,
events.
like-
And maybe Sonic. Maybe we're getting another Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games 20.
Well, that's actually kind
2020.
of what I was gonna say. Is because like, it is always, I feel like, been true that no one's ever worried about Mario. Like those characters are so classic that like he could have bad games for 20 years and Mario would be fine. Like everyone would still be like, yeah,
Nobody
Mario.
gets 20 years, man.
Well, I mean, they've already had, you know, but like Sonic, you know, got through the ringer, kind of.
But one of the interesting things about the video too is like one of the first commentators after like that big, you know, grand entrance coming up out of the pipe. He's like, I didn't know he was Super Mario the whole time. It's like that's not his name. Okay.
But that's the power
but-
of Mario.
Exactly.
Because
But
like
it just kind of
everyone
shows.
knows Super Mario.
But it shows, you know, kind of like the steps we still have to take to kind of, you know, really achieve global saturation, where they can put video game characters in there and people aren't like,
I don't think
oh
it was,
yeah, that's a weird thing.
I don't think it was wrong to call him Super Mario.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm gonna take that stance.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
If
it was fine.
if it was the stout Mario you see when he doesn't have a mushroom, maybe it would be incorrect. But that we saw Super Mario right there, man. Full proportion.
Super Mario is actually a character. Like if you go to the Mario wiki and type in Super Mario, Super Mario will have its own page as a character entry.
I'm gonna say it's beneath. I'm gonna say it's Mario, and then like alias is Super Mario.
Also, I just think like the point is like dude who's a voice on a sports thing whose entire life is dedicated to being a voice on sports things
Right.
knows Mario enough
Yeah.
to call him Super Mario. Like
But even that is remarkable.
that's how ubiquitous and unassailable Mario is, you know? Like he is a cultural icon in many different cultures.
Ian, I got some bad news for you.
Oh.
That dude who does sports things his entire life, commenting on the closing ceremonies, was in fact Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, well then yeah, he should have known better.
You know what's cool is never mind. I liked the panel they had there. Big fan of Mary Carrillo. Okay, so let's move on to a new. Thank you, Cesar, for the question. Thank you for bringing that up. I thought that was interesting. This next one we got a game. Let's play a game.
Yes! I love these.
Hello, allies. This summer vacation, I decided to do something productive with my free time. Oh, I picked this for Jones. All right.
Oh.
I started to organize my game collection. While doing so, I created a list of all of my games and included some extra information about those games, like the developer, the date of release, and also the game's genre. This is the tricky part. For most games, it's pretty easy to pick a genre, like Mario and Tetris. Some are more difficult because of the multi-gameplay elements they contain, like Metal Gear Solid and Deus Ex. However, some games are so unique, so different, it seems they exist in a world of their own. Here's my question to the panel. Can you help me labeling the following 10 games?
Oh, I hate this.
Jazzed. I'm jazzed.
I know
about
that
this.
Jones loves this.
Love
I'm
it.
jazzed about this.
Love and respect, Hank Groen and Dier.
Diark? Was there a K at the end? What was that?
It's an IJK. It ends with an IJK.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Groenendiek.
Yeah, it's probably like Diek.
Groenendiek.
Groenendiek. Garninkit.
Send us a pronunciation guide and we'll say it right next time.
Corrections music, please.
Thank you.
Here we go. So I know Jones loves to put games into genres.
Love it.
Our first game, when it's a recent release, No Man's Sky. What genre is No Man's Sky?
I would say that is a space sim. I would say that is a simulation.
No.
I would say survival exploration game.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna
Slash art
say
game?
space
Definitely
survival.
There's no
Survival. Sure,
sim
I'll buy
happening, Jones.
survival.
There's no sim happening.
This is not simulating being an astronaut in space?
Not exactly.
No.
Not at all.
Okay.
Like, if you're an astronaut in space, you don't just go to a planet and shoot some rocks and then turn those rocks into something you put into your own life support to live more.
Okay. It's not simulating. You're not NASA, but it's like
Well, future technology, if significantly advanced, would appear as magic to us.
I'll buy that though. Survival
Yeah.
exploration.
I like survival
Is exploration a genre?
We're making it.
Kind of.
The question is,
Survival is.
put a word on it. We're doing it.
Okay. I'll buy that. That's the right answer.
Number 2, Ape Escape.
Action platformer? Do you
That's
jump
what I was
around
gonna
in
say.
it? I know the
you
capturing
you
mechanics.
absolutely,
I was
you
gonna say
absolutely
action
do.
platformer.
Yeah, I would say that's exactly what I was gonna say. I was
Yep.
gonna say action platform.
Got that one.
Okay, I'm with you. We're doing a lot of capturing monkeys, though. We're sneaking up on those
That's the
monkeys.
action.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the action.
I really like Ape Escape.
I love Ape Escape.
Dude, they put out, there's like a new version, like a update or whatever.
All you need is the first.
They put out an update? What are you
PlayStation
talking
Meeting
about?
coming up.
The PS2.
Another chance.
Ape Escape 2, I think.
Oh, got you.
They
Yep.
released a slightly up-resed PS2 version. I don't know.
I was almost on board, and then people in the GAF thread were complaining that it was the European voiceover actors.
Oh.
And then they were apparently inferior. So it just kind of makes
Sounds
me
about
mad.
right.
I don't know, when you download that kind of thing off the PlayStation Network, you want the definitive version of it. And so the idea of, oh, well, they got the one with the cheaper voice actors is kind of, it bums you out. You don't want to download that. Number 3, Bomberman. Wow, a strong silence
Yeah,
from the panel.
I want to throw a puzzle in there.
It's a
'Cause there are some extreme puzzle
multiplayer-
elements of that game.
Extreme puzzle elements? No,
Yeah,
you're just
that's-
throwing bombs out, man.
Well, what are games like Nidhogg or Samurai Gun or those? What is that called?
It
Inverse.
is Twitch, which is tough. It just makes me think maybe you could put the word action in there
No.
because you are
There's
blowing
a
things
genre
up.
for that, like multiplayer,
Action puzzle.
local multiplayer.
Ben
don't
is,
have to play
Ben is
multiplayer.
thinking the hardest on
Oh yeah,
this.
you do have single player mode on
Oh,
that,
definitely.
right?
Yeah.
The reason why I go to puzzle in any case is
Yeah,
if
I
there's
don't
a-
get this.
is if there's a board. If it's literally
Yeah.
like solve this.
What are you gonna call Pac-Man a puzzle game? Don't you do it?
No,
Arcade is the genre.
because you have no items in Pac-Man. You're always running. You know,
Excuse
Pac-Man's just
me?
like go 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 go
You're
go.
always running in Pac-Man?
You
What
better
happens if
be.
I eat a big pellet?
Sometimes the hunter becomes
Right, but
the
you
hunted.
didn't choose when to deploy that pellet. You just grabbed it and you're still running. You know, it's like I
How
literally
do you
just
play
hit it.
Pac-Man? What do you mean I didn't choose when to deploy it?
You didn't pick up the pellet and then hold it in your inventory and then wait 60 seconds later and then hit a button to then use the pellet.
So these 60 seconds are what differentiates a puzzle game
that I
from an
manually
action game?
drop an object. That I manually I have something in my inventory. I move to a place, put it there, and it does something when I put it there.
Jones, this is the nonsense I was hoping for in this segment. That makes no sense. The idea that
That's not how you solve puzzles.
No.
Is you take
I
objects
put a
and
thing
you
in
put
my
them in certain
inventory.
places.
So the Witness,
I mean,
I
that's
never
a-
put anything in my inventory through the entirety of the Witness. Is it not a puzzle game?
It's a puzzle game. By your argument, it's almost a point-and-click adventure game. Like,
Right.
it's like an adventure game.
Maybe this is too broad, but I think you could call Bomberman a multiplayer strategy game.
Whoa.
I would say arcade action game.
Arcade action strategy game. Because we don't need multiplayer. It's really, you can play the computer. I think it's got
Okay,
it.
that's
Like,
okay. That's fair.
Bomberman to
Yeah.
me is a multiplayer
But the
game,
reason-
yeah.
The reason why I would say strategy over action is because of the nature of the bombs themselves. Like, there has to be some sort of setup there, you know.
Yeah.
Arcade strategy.
That's why I'm actually very bad at it. I get rocked
Yeah.
every time because I'm like, just like, oh, I'll put a bomb where he is right now. And
Right,
then I walk into some
yeah,
fire.
you have to the
There's some
mental.
strategy to it.
Yeah,
Is it an RTS?
no.
No.
Unfortunately not. no.
I'd say arcade strategy game then.
Okay.
Number 4, I like arcade strategy. That's
So what does
cool.
arcade mean? I'm sorry, not to stretch this out, but like
I was
what-
going to ask that as well.
It's the same, like you said about how the board makes it a puzzle game. The board to me makes it an arcade game.
There's a score
Like
at the top
Pac-Man,
right-hand
there's a
corner
score
of
at the
it.
top. It's like you're doing this. It's one thing basically.
primarily
I also
point-driven,
think
like-
Yeah.
arcade implies a sort of drop in, drop
Sort of
out.
a-
Like
yeah,
you can just
a
approach.
style of
Yeah.
gameplay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cool.
yeah.
Arcade
Okay.
strategy.
Okay.
I like it.
All right.
Here we go. Pokemon Go.
Bad.
Ooh, harsh.
just during the record keeping, just write bad next to it.
Mobile.
Sorry, it was just a joke. But.
I mean, it's a mobile game. It's a wicked in-app purchase-driven mobile game.
Wicked.
It became wicked. It started out okay, but buggy.
Uh-oh, Jones
So
is onto something.
Niantic made it evil.
Well, mobile has the category list.
Oh, okay. So
You
Jones is
literally
just
go
gonna,
to like the the iTunes store.
he's just gonna throw out the prove it ticket.
Yeah,
Jones,
for
you still
myself.
playing?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I just went to Grand Canyon. That was awesome.
What'd
I
you
was
get?
like breaking it out.
What'd
Like
you
all
get,
right,
like,
all right, Arizona, all right, Utah.
Yeah.
Nothing super special. I got ghost types, man.
Bummer,
I'll kill
man.
somebody for ghost types. Well, I also didn't have a lot of reception.
There's a nest.
out in the
There's
middle
a
of the-
ghost nest. What are they called?
Oh,
Ghastly?
God, dude.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Let's draw a bunch of
It's going off the rails here.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry. There's a ghastly nest over by old Viacom.
Whoa.
Apparently. Tough to
Ghastly.
read.
Dude, hot tip.
Ghastly.
Action, adventure, arcade, board, card, casino, dice, educational, family, music, puzzle, racing, role-playing, simulation, sports, strategy, trivia, word.
I'm sorry, what, Jones?
These are all the genres of games, according to Apple.
So what?
So
What is Pokemon Go?
Pokemon Go's in there somewhere, yeah.
Oh,
am I
good
specifically looking up Pokemon Go?
You were specifically going to the store and looking
Well,
at
that's the
Pokemon
answer.
Go.
So we'll accept whatever answer they give us.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I believe it is correct,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be surprised if Apple has it under role playing.
Oh my goodness, would that make me... Well,
Although you're playing a role, maybe even more.
yeah. There's
Possibly
people...
this is more of a role-playing game than any other role-playing game in history.
Sure, and they come up, and I mean, the characters say, like, hey, thanks for joining my team.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you are literally playing that role.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was.
I guess I won't be mad if we call it RPG. AR RPG?
I mean, that's what it
ARPG.
is. It's an augmented reality game.
Sure.
Okay.
That's what
okay.
it is.
AR
All right.
RPG.
It's
ARPG.
While Jones still looks it up, let's talk
Sorry.
about Super Mario Maker.
Ooh.
Yeah, it'd be the same thing as Little Big Planet. It's like a character or like a
What
world building game or a
creation kit?
Ooh, creation
game
kit.
creator.
It's a-
yeah, it's
yeah.
like RPG Maker. You know, it's like
It's a
what genre would that
platform-
be?
Well, that's different though. Like, RPG Maker is an. I mean, the name is the genre.
It's a tool. RPG Maker
it's
is
a-
more of a tool.
yeah.
It would never
Right.
win Game of the Year.
It's a platformer, and creation kit. It's like a
It's a-
builder platformer. It's like what Dragon Quest Builders is like a RPG builder. Like Minecraft is a survival exploration builder, right?
Could you argue that you
Creation.
don't have to make a platformer with Mario Maker though?
Ooh, yes.
'Cause you could do
You
a
could also
non-
argue that you don't make anything.
Right.
You can simply
Yeah,
play
you
that
can just
game.
Play. Then it's
Yeah.
platformer.
It's a platform.
Whoa!
Okay. Okay. I'm all right with that.
I like
Okay,
that.
put it on the box.
just
Number 6.
making genres.
By the way, Jones still looking up Pokemon
I'm not saying
Go.
it. Well, it doesn't say when you look up Pokemon Go. It just says games. And then
Okay.
when and then if I go, I'm going
Kyle.
genre by genre, looking like the top.
We're already
20
doing
and it's not there.
AR-RPG for that one, Jones.
AR-RPG. Okay.
We nailed it.
I'll
Yeah.
look
I can imagine some
on
poor kid
Google.
picking up a box and just like scratching their head and be like, platform.
Yeah, what the hell
What
does
does
that
it
mean?
mean?
We put out the platform. Bound. Number 6.
I've not played this
art
game.
game.
Art game.
It's an art platformer. It's a it's a platformer,
Ooh, art platformer.
but it's an art game.
nice. Number 7. Twisted Metal.
A competitive combat racing game.
You used to be able to say vehicular combat was a genre.
This
Yeah,
is-
I
yeah,
still
that
think
is-
you could
yeah,
say
totally.
that.
This says
yeah.
There's
adventure.
enough games in that.
Yeah.
Adventure for,
For
Pokemon Go?
Adventure.
Okay. I can buy it.
Like genres wax and wane, but I don't think that erases them. I think
Yeah,
vehicular,
vehicular combat.
works.
Okay, cool. Number 8. Heavy Rain.
Movie.
Bad? No.
Like
It's an action. It's an adventure game.
It's
I
an
think it's an
adventure game.
adventure
Yeah.
I think it's an
Yeah,
adventure
it's
game.
I think it's
adventure
straight
game.
up.
That's
Not I said action accidentally. It's an adventure game.
That one's like a pretty easy, fits well into
Yeah,
a
it's
genre.
a QTE
Yeah.
game.
Portal.
Puzzle platform.
First person puzzle game.
I think I would just say puzzle game.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
You could say puzzle platformer, but puzzler.
That is most certainly a puzzle game, Mr. Kyle Bossman.
Yeah.
Kyle,
Oh
you're
boy, here we go.
Portal is a puzzle game.
Kyle-
What the hell is wrong with
Kyle,
you?
you go into rooms with puzzles in them that are numbered.
That is how the game begins.
Well, of
Yeah,
course.
and then
That is why it is a brilliant puzzle
the
game.
meta puzzle is the game it's escaping.
Oh boy.
But I don't think that calling something a puzzle game doesn't mean it can't have all of the qualities that Portal has. I don't think being a puzzle game like removes the story or the humor. Like
Right.
that, I don't think. If that's what you're worried about, I don't think that
The
applies.
disbelief you're having, Kyle, is the quality of that game. Like
Yeah.
that's why Portal's that good, because it is just a puzzle game.
Oh, it's okay. You know what? I'm not in the panel, so we're
Like
just gotta
Portal
just gotta
2
accept that as a puzzle game.
Portal
It's okay.
2, the second half of that game is puzzle structures, but in the world.
I
Even
have
when
to
you're
know
escaping, it's puzzle structure.
why does it bother you that it's what we're calling it a puzzle game?
So basically, to me, it means if you're progressing through a game without killing things, that's a puzzle game.
You're an idiot.
If you're progressing through a game by doing clever things,
Well,
That's
no,
just-
you say about Heavy Rain. You know, it's like you don't have to kill people in Heavy Rain, or you know,
You don't have to kill people in Deus Ex.
Yeah, in King's Quest, you don't kill people, but it's not a puzzle game; it's an adventure game. You know, like
Oh. so Portal might be an adventure game.
no, because there's no
No,
dialogue
Portal's a
options. There's no
puzzle game.
NPCs you
You're
talk to. You
solving
don't collect
puzzles.
like items. Like
The game
All right.
teaches you the puzzle mechanics through the thing, and then it trusts you to use puzzle mechanics to solve less structured puzzles, but are still puzzles once you're moving forward.
Nah,
just
that's
like Inside
that's
is a
just
puzzle
a video game world at that point. At that point, it's like where I'm not solving little puzzles anymore.
No, you're still solving little puzzles. It's just not numbered.
There is. I don't agree with it, but there is something I really respect about Kyle's argument. I like
In that it's so disjointed.
No, no. What he's saying, like how we define everything based on like attacking or killing something, like just because it is that there isn't any violence, like how that shapes our opinion of things. I don't know. I just think it's an interesting
I
argument.
mean, action and shooter, but like adventure doesn't imply violence. Puzzle doesn't imply violence. Racing doesn't imply violence.
And Portal does have little things that shoot you. Anyway, number 10, finally. A game I still plan to play with Jones. Soon, hopefully. Pokemon Snap.
Fatal Frame clone.
I would argue that that is an adventure game.
Whoa.
Yeah.
well, we had exploration in here. I mean, that's
Jones, there's no exploring in that game.
yeah. There's
Yeah,
not-
I don't know
there's
much
You are
about
not.
on
the-
rails taking pictures of Pokemon.
You're on rails.
you're still controlling
Yeah.
where you're looking, so you
Then
have to
it's
like
a rails
look to find
shooter.
stuff.
It might be a real on-rail shooter.
Oh, I don't know.
You're shooting a camera instead of bullets.
But the thing is, you have
I've never played this game. I don't
you
know
have-
anything about this game.
you still have some level of interaction with the environment and the Pokemon inside the environment.
Yeah.
It is a tricky one. I think,
So wait, explain the gameplay of Snap. I
Cool.
mean, I know the broad strokes.
Sure. So you're on rails. You're going through this environment, and there are Pokemon to your left and right, just doing their own things. But you can throw bait at them. You could throw rocks at them. I forget what you could throw at them.
You throw like the weird Pokeball looking things that have like pink gas. You know what I'm talking about? And
Kind of.
they have different they have different effects on different Pokemon.
I've
And you
not
throw-
seen this game since I watched my friend
So
play
you're
it
like
upon
roofing
release.
Pokemon.
Yeah, to get them to
Pokemon
do
is so
stuff.
fundamentally disturbing.
I can't
Yeah.
stress how wonderful of a game Pokemon Snap is.
It's cool. It's a
It
really
is.
cool game.
I honestly believe it is one of the best Pokemon games
Because
in
then
general.
you want to take a picture of it being happy or being mad, and then if you
Right.
snap that picture of it being mad, Professor Oak says, "Oh wow, I like what you got here," and you're
has
like, "Oh,
emotion.
thank you." Yeah.
So
And-
it's like a tour. It's like a safari.
Yes.
There-
it is like a safari.
There are so many moments in Pokemon Go where the game will clearly hint that you can do something, that you can change something about a level or a Pokemon, or wake up a Pokemon, or
Pokemon
have
Snap, you mean?
in Pokemon Snap. Like you can just alter you. So you go through multiple times and you just keep seeing how things change, and it's kind of magical, honestly. Like it's really, really, really cool.
Would it be, having not played it? I mean, that description sounds like Virtue's Last Reward or something, like a virtual novel.
Oh, whoa. There's not much of a narrative. You
Oh, okay.
can't call this a novel.
Would you
I
put
don't-
this in the same category as something like Africa, where you're just
Oh, heck
driving
yeah.
around
Yeah.
taking pictures of stuff? Like, it's like photography its own genre? It's
Let's
like
call photography its own genre. Let's just do it.
like
I
Dead
don't-
Rising had it. I mean, it wasn't like a huge part of the game, but
Are collection games, is that a genre? because you're collecting. You want all the specimens. That's like the primary gameplay loop.
Like Endless Ocean, is that also kind of in the same?
Or Abzu.
Not Abzu's more like Journey. Abzu's
Yeah.
more of like a
No.
not adventure, but
No,
like
no. We're twisting it. You're trying to form.
No, I'm not trying to do
Pokemon
anything. I'm
Snap
asking.
into
I'm throwing these things out.
No, I'm trying to put a genre that already kind of
It's
sort
not
of
gonna
exists.
fit into any of your little boxes.
I stand by adventure.
Wow.
Adventure sounds.
It's fun to call that game an adventure game. I'll take it, man.
Adventure photography.
The thing is, it's kind of like you're solving puzzles to get the right photographs. So maybe we should just call all games puzzle games. So
I don't
next,
understand you.
That's just-
Portal is obviously a puzzle game. It's one of the greatest puzzle games. The mark of a good puzzle game is that it can break out of its own box and become a meta puzzle in its own right.
The comment section for this video is going to get
Oh yeah. You know, it's why I picked the question. Why I picked the
you
game.
bait.
Okay, we're over time, but
Let's keep doing them.
this one touched me in a way, and I don't normally pick out personal questions like this, but I just had to know. I had to know too. So this one is directed toward Ben Moore. Hello. My question is directed at Ben Moore specifically. Ben, I watched you become a functioning member of the video talent of GT, and I distinctly remember watching you for the first time and thinking how I couldn't believe you got on camera.
Wow. This is
Ben's not going to react
The
well to
balls on you, Ben.
How dare you,
Yeah.
sir?
And other viewers watching for a few years have had the pleasure to watch you develop as an on-screen material into what I consider one of the best allies and my personal favorite.
Wow.
Biased.
So my question, biased. This person started out okay. So my question is this: How did you do it? How did you personally get comfortable with a role that was vastly different from what you knew or expected? Love and respect, D. Brinson 98.
Can I see that just for a second while Ben's answering this? There's just
Sure.
2 words that crack me up that he
Okay,
used in there.
absolutely, yeah.
Thank you. Go for it, Ben.
I'm more worried about what Brandon is curious about.
No,
than-
the words he used to describe you I thought were funny. There were
Okay.
2 words specifically. Funny.
Can I be 100% honest?
Yes.
I can't stand being on camera.
Even right now?
No. I mean, it's like anything. You do it enough, and it just doesn't matter anymore. Like
Sure.
you don't even pay attention to it. But it's like when I wasn't comfortable with it, when I hadn't done it that much. I mean, nothing in the world made me feel worse, and it wasn't even like comments or anything. It was just I was so self-conscious about it because that's not why I did this job. Like I did this job to write.
Yeah.
That was my trade, and when I started Game Trailers, that kind of made sense, but the video game media landscape like changed completely around me, and it was very clear that it's like, nope, if you're gonna be here, like this is a skill you have to develop, and so it was kind of like the danger of necessity. And I think the only reason I would still argue that I'm not great at it, but I think the only reason why I was able to get more comfortable with it is because like I actually really, really like all of you guys, and because you make me feel uncomfortable. If I didn't have you, if I just had some boss barking at me and saying, hey, talk about this, review this thing, say this opinion, I would still be the same shambling mess that I was in those very early GT videos. So, I think specifically I have to call out Michael Huber because I just remember some of the early things I did with him. He got me so excited, and he was able to tap into that inner passion that I can like sometimes have, and he made me feel like that stuff was okay. And so being able to embrace that stuff, I think really helped tremendously.
Wow.
Ben, can I say something?
Yeah.
I've actually this is kind of an interesting comment because I've long admired your eloquence and ability to speak in pretty much everything I've ever seen you in. Like your perspicacity is very impressive to me. Like I really like the way that you express yourself, and the way you'll say sentences, it sounds like they're well thought out, written down, very well formed, full thoughts, and that's a talent that not a lot of people have.
Thank you.
I think that you're a very talented natural speaker.
Can I tell you what I'm so frustrated about myself with is like every time on Tabletop Escapades when I say welcome to Tabletop Adventures, or when I'm on stream and I go to get a drink and for like the third time I forget to unmute my microphone. Like, I have moments like that happen to me constantly, and I get so frustrated at myself, and I don't understand how it keeps happening. And
You'd be too good if you didn't do these things.
like, that's what I like about writing, is because I feel like all of that stuff I don't have to.
You know what's
to
my
worry
favorite
about
mistake
first.
that I do, Ben?
What's that?
When I invite people on Toy Box Tuesday, I don't want to show my whole friends list, like what they're playing and everything. So I'll go to a separate screen, and then I won't go back. So like go to a screen with just a
sure.
screenshot of like characters in the arcade.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, so this thing's really cool. And chat's just screaming at me for like 5 minutes
reading-
straight. Like,
you're not even
we're
reading
looking
chat."
at a screenshot. I'm like, no, sorry.
Damn it, Brandon! Damn it!
Yeah, I have 2 compliments for Ben Moore. If we can jump on the Ben Moore love bandwagon.
Let's do it, man.
So this is juicy.
This is
as far as I'm
juicy.
concerned.
We
This is
finally
the
got
Ben
to
Moore
some
love.
juice.
We
We got
finally
to
got
the juice.
juiciness.
Just a big old wet
Compliments make me
grapefruit.
more uncomfortable than insults.
Yes.
Most of the time.
Ben Moore cares about the words that he chooses.
Yeah.
You can see it, whether it, however long it takes him to get to those words, the man will pause and think and then speak, and that is rare. It's rare on Earth, not to mention in video game journalism. And one of my favorite things that we have produced as Easy Allies since we started was that ramen thing from E3 where you guys all talked about, and I left. I was like, I totally bailed because I was so tired, and I think like Amanda had just got back, so like I went inside and like talked to her. I think I like ate dinner inside and like chatted with her for like half an hour, and then because I'm like I wasn't gonna be on Frame Trap, and it's really just gonna be focused on them, so it was a great opportunity to just kind of like get my head together and go take a break. And I came back right in the middle of that, like what is happening right now, and that was just so it was so like you really just kind of came in, and I think that's one of the most exciting things about Easy Allies is all of us being like, these games are important to me. This is the way I want to style this stuff. So I love that we all have our own shows and we all bring our own personalities to it. So, and the word specifically that I underlined, a functioning member, I thought was funny, which means. Which raises 2 questions. One, was he employed by Game Trailers and not functioning for a certain amount of time?
Right.
Was it something where like he would be on streams but not functioning on the streams? And then there was a point where he just like Optimus Prime, just like suddenly became operational. And on-screen material, I really liked.
Material.
You're some of my favorite on-screen material.
We're just slabs of meat.
Yeah. You've been really shaped and honed.
Well, not really like me, like fabric.
Yeah.
Just like like a curtain or a somber tapestry.
The very first.
Nice.
Oh, Jones, I'm gonna need that back, bud.
Oh, nice.
The very first on-camera video I ever did, there's a comment that will always stick with me. It's like defined my entire self.
Wow.
Is, hey, this guy seems pretty cool. I don't know who he is, but why is his head so big? That will stick with me until the day I die.
Pretty nice butt.
That's pretty. Yeah. That's what, you should read some of the shit people have said about me, man.
No, I didn't even. I found it hilarious.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was like way into that comment.
That's
Like,
amazing.
Yeah.
And seeing.
Do you know why?
Yeah.
Though? For real? Seriously?
Was do you actually want to know why?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's like super serious.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I wish
Are you
it wasn't.
comfortable talking about it?
Yeah, no, I was born like super early, and like I had a bunch of
couldn't wait.
yeah, I had like a
Couldn't
bunch
wait.
of extra like fluid in my head, and so that's why I have such
You
a
had
big head.
A hydrocephalic head.
Yeah, like I was.
Wow.
There was like a 10% chance for like me to live
Yeah.
when I was little.
Are you
10%
dead serious
chance
right
to
now?
live?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. That is
There's a 90% chance you were gonna die.
yeah, that is like the
And
the
you
reason.
hung, you hang, much like how you rose to being tolerable on-screen material.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You beat the odds.
yep. I
That's amazing.
managed to be acceptable.
You're a functioning member of the human race.
Yep. Well, I don't know about that, but I am a part of Easy Allies.
We'll get Abby on the phone.
Yeah.
But us developing these dumb skills has been a treat. Like
Yeah.
doing like mine was Trailer Academy. I was like I want to do that show obviously because I don't shut up about trailers, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a show where I got to stare into the camera and have someone behind the camera that's like I'm taking up their time.
Right.
So it's like I better do this right. Try to get this done as quick as possible to like challenge myself. So yeah, all of us working outside of our comfort zones is just the best because we're gonna screw it up. And it's gonna be rad. And it's gonna be documented forever. You'll always be able to look back and watch that horrible video and be like, wow, look how much I've grown.
It was always frustrating in early GT days because it was the exact opposite for me. Because, like, my role was just an editor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, I went to school for performance and for filming things and for writing and for singing. And, like, so I had all these things that I wasn't able to do. And then I would just see people, like, doing things in inefficient ways or, like, doing other things. And I was always just kind of like, can I just let me, but it wasn't my spot, So it was always kind of funny. And now, like, it's great because we all get to utilize all of our different passions, and I think it's a lot of fun. But
Wow,
It's the best.
This got really warm and juicy in here.
It got warm and juicy. That's a sun-bathed grapefruit. Jones,
did you know that grapefruit interacts negatively with epilepsy medicine?
no.
Some people on a certain epilepsy medicines can't have grapefruits.
Oh,
I
no.
learned this from a friend of mine recently.
Oh my God.
Bringing it down,
never,
Ian, man.
Think of never being able to eat grapefruit.
I make that
can't.
choice every day. Grapefruit's disgusting.
That's the joke.
Oh,
It's
right.
tedious. It's a tedious fruit.
That's the joke. Pedantic, really.
Okay, so
Pedestrian fruit.
last love and respect question leads really well into our self-promotional part, so I just figured I would pick this.
Cool.
Hey all,
Do
this
bets
week
at the end now?
This week, I realized I'm still using Patreon to view all of your content, despite the launch of the EZA official website. Should I switch to viewing stuff on your new site to help boost traffic? Do you monitor the total views more so than your site's traffic? Love and respect, Evco. Jones?
We do not monitor visit. I mean, we do. We can see how many people visit the website, but
Yeah.
that's not a metric we really care about. The YouTube views are great. The website will connect you to our YouTube channel. So if you watch it on the website, we will get we'll register that view on YouTube. The website is mostly a service for our fans. So, it's the calendar is really great because it's got it shows times in your time zone. So you can go see our schedule on Twitch. You can know when the podcast goes up. But if you want to see not only just when our shows are happening, but like maybe events that are coming up, we can maybe tease some stuff on that calendar. And again, it'll adapt to your time zone.
The schedule on the website is amazing. I go to the website frequently just to see the schedule so I know what the hell we're up to.
I do that.
Sure.
Like, I'm just like, what the hell's going on? Oh, right. Okay, cool.
And our forums are super awesome because there's a lot of
forums are
times
awesome.
there's a lot of times on our shows and streams where we're like, yeah, we should make a post about that, and someone will make it 5 seconds later and just basically do our job for us. So we have a great, awesome community, and
Thank you.
And they took our forum and are running with it. So
I'm going to be
it's
playing...
theirs. It's really their forum. It's not ours.
I'm going to be playing fantasy football this season with the forum.
Yes.
The
Really?
forum members.
That
yeah.
is so cool.
I'm really stoked about that.
Well
yeah.
done,
I don't
Kyle.
understand football, but I understand fantasy.
Me too. That was good. We promoted Easy Allies well enough there. Patreon.com/Easy Allies, though, is a website where you go to support us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because that's how we exist. That's how we keep going. That's how we keep this train rolling.
That's how we made a Deus Ex retrospective
Yeah.
happen. So
It's phenomenal, by the way.
yeah.
The retrospective, yeah, but also just the Patreon thing,
Yeah.
like the way that this works. no, the retrospective is incredible. Also
Yeah, but
that-
is it phenomenal?
No. I'd say it's passable on-screen material.
Because
It's functional, Jones.
Ian did dig the retro. Like, I think it was on the Q&A. Because
Yeah.
we were talking about like what exciting things are we doing, coming up? And really the question was like, what are you doing coming up that's out of the box? That's like really weird
Right.
that you can tease. And I was like, well, Deus Ex is coming up, and you were like, well, yeah, but it's game footage and narration. I was like, well, yeah, that I work on. For like 20 hours,
I
but
say
whatever,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to belittle.
Do you know
The
you know-
retros are really impressive. You learn stuff. I like them.
Yeah, and I didn't know jack about Deus Ex, but I'm skipping. I didn't. Yeah.
What I meant was
skipping
Patreon
to
is
the pitch
incredible.
a video segment and.
The moment I could
I'm not
tell
sure I
Jones
heard
is
it
really
this
proud of
week.
that, you can tell Jones
This
is
is
super
amazing.
proud of the retrospective because it begins with the orchestra warming up under the Easy Allies.
Do you know where I got that from?
PlayStation 3 starting up.
Nope.
Where?
I got that from, in the beginning, I show footage from System Shock and Wing Commander and Ultima Underworld.
Ooh.
And the beginning of Wing Commander opens with that. I think it's not Sierra, I can't remember who published that.
Oh, okay.
But their logo has this, orchestra tuning in the front. So I was like, oh, yoink, thanks.
Oh,
That's so
okay.
cool.
I
That's
thought you were
cool.
making a statement. I'm
That's
like, Easy
cool.
Allies is making art right now.
Well,
That
Oh,
I
okay.
was making many
You
statements.
can always
Great.
no. I always really appreciate the way that because I was thinking about as I was watching the retrospective, I was thinking like, what if I had edited this and how different it would be?
Mhm.
Because your style is different than mine, and as I think suits this kind of content really well because you really do the interstitial B-roll stuff where the music changes really well. And I appreciate that it sets a very kind of contemplative tone. I think
We're just
it's really-
feeling each other right
yeah,
now.
we're great. It's hot as hell in here. We've been here for like 4 hours.
It is getting a
Ben,
little
your
hot.
head, your giant head is wonderful.
What the hell have you done lately, Kyle?
I am functional.
Nothing, man.
You're so functional.
I
You're so
function.
functional, Ben. Yes.
Ian, I have to tell you, at the end there, you reminded me of like when I was a kid, I would get excited about things that my relatives wouldn't understand. Okay. I'm sorry, Kyle. I'm sorry. I don't have to say the story.
Ben, I got sidetracked thinking of a T-shirt that says "I'm functional." Okay. I was in my own mind for a second.
Functional member.
You're a functional member.
It's got so many different meanings. Oh, God. Oh, boy.
That's pretty amazing.
A little saucy.
We gotta make that one. I'm making that
saucy.
tonight when I get home.
Functional member, don't you dare. Oh,
I'm
Can I be like the store model? For
yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah. All right, so you
your aunts and
your family
uncles?
members think
But yeah, so have you guys ever had that moment where you're really excited about something and it's inspiring you, it's filling you with passion, and then you take it to like your loved ones,
Yeah.
your mom and dad, your aunt and uncle, grandma and grandpa, and you explain it, and then there's that awkward pause. And you have to prod them, and you're like, "So, what do you think?" And like, "Oh, well, you learn stuff. It's great." And like, just that forced reaction because they're totally oblivious and don't get it, and you just
Every day.
feel crushed.
That happens all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
aka me speaking to my father, basically
Yeah.
about
Wow.
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
But the thing is-
anything in popular entertainment other than Game of Thrones.
we'll have to do that for our kids. You know, it comes from a place of love. Our kids are going to talk about inane, stupid things, and it's not like you don't
They're
care.
gonna talk about how their weird, awful sounding music is just the greatest.
yeah.
And you're gonna have to be like, "Oh, totally."
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that you like music. I don't
wish
care
that you-
about it.
I wish
Yeah.
that you liked music.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I don't agree, but that's hilarious.
They loved you so much they couldn't pay attention to what you were saying because they just loved you talking so much.
You just
It's like I enjoy your enjoyment.
the fact that
But
you've
not the thing you
so
enjoy.
accepted that your kids are going to be into things that you hate is like you're just
It's
so
for the
resigned
best.
to it.
It's
yeah.
for the
That's
best.
the thing. I was
Yeah.
reading an
Yeah.
article about how lasting love is based on generosity and kindness, and they were talking about the terms they used were like you could either turn toward or turn away from your partner, right? And I read these things because I'm sad and alone, and people give things that are like bids for attention, right? And so like if you're my husband and you're super into birds, and this is the example they use, and you say, "Oh, sweetie, look at this amazing bird outside," right? Like it's about the bird, but it's also about me acknowledging you.
I'm turning toward you.
No, I have the choice to either turn toward or away from your interest in birds. So if I'm reading my like Anne Rice novel or whatever the hell it
Yes.
is people do.
Ian, this bird. Ian,
That's nice, dear. See, that's turning away.
Ian, this bird is only here for 2 weeks this year.
If I go, "Oh, what kind of bird is that?"
Mariel chirp set.
A Mario those are rare, right? You mentioned that once, right?
Yeah, I did.
See, that's turning toward my partner.
Got it.
So that's, that's how you make, and like the thing they were saying is, they can predict with almost 100% accuracy if a couple will still be together based on if they're kind and generous to each other in that way. Also, you have something called like the vagus nerve that triggers your fight or flight response. So like bad relationships, you're constantly in fight or flight mode. Like how I am whenever I'm around you, Kyle.
Yeah, I
This
get
is
that.
getting a little too juicy for me. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. All right.
I think it's fascinating.
We
I
just-
forgot why I brought that up.
I feel like that was like some sort of weird fanfic come to life right there.
bird watching.
I think there's a very specific fanfic that just came to life.
I want to ship
let's-
these two right here.
Let's move on to bets.
Let's please do.
Let's Tibet. I moved to Tibet, and I had a bet. Okay, last week's bet. No, let's do next week's bet first.
I love all these little doodles.
Yeah, most of them are
I
stars.
fought so hard for that Prove It ticket. I just couldn't. There's too many good vibes on this podcast today.
You know what I would have used it on, to be honest with you? When Ian comes out and says persimilitude.
Oh sure,
I
that
didn't
one.
say persimilitude.
What'd you say?
I said perspicacity.
Perspicacity. I would be like, you know what, Ian? Spell it and define it.
I don't know how to spell it.
That's what I would use that for.
Yeah.
I don't know how to spell it. I
Okay.
learned it. Fun fact: I learned it from Lisa Simpson. In the episode where she thinks she's getting stupid, she goes, "I'm losing my perspicacity," and then runs off.
That's very funny, actually.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good joke. Anyway, Attack on Titan, the video game, comes out next week. How long are those end credits going to be, Jones?
2 minutes and 45 seconds.
3 minutes 45 seconds.
Yeah, when I said it, they're always long. They're always like 5.
4 minutes and 16 seconds.
I always mess this up.
Jones here's one bet after his very confident display of 3:45.
2:45. You did
2:45. Yeah. And then immediately just, I hate
I think
myself.
I've done this before.
Oh, I'm
I think
such a
I've done a
dumb
similar
idiot.
time for end credits, and it was like double that.
Localization.
I
teams.
never pay attention to credits. These are always
Jones,
very hard.
I got your back. 8 minutes 45 seconds.
I don't think there's not a lot of localization
Oh yeah, it's
in
in
this.
Japanese.
Oh no,
Japanese.
you're totally
Shoot.
right.
Get ready.
I don't know about that 8:45. And now with our Don bet, he's drawn a monster for us.
Maybe
Holy
that's
cow.
a 91H.
Don bet 8 minutes 32 seconds.
Ooh.
My bet has been neutralized effectively with that one.
see.
Yeah.
Well done, Don.
Unless it's 9 minutes. Also, 3 of you did 45. That's weird.
That is weird. Let
Must
me
be
lock this
something
in.
in the water.
My plan all along was to put tiny microbes at the public water that make human minds think of the 45th second. How dare
I
you?
love this.
How dare you?
This villain. It's like the most elaborate, pointless. But then it ties into something really huge and crazy later.
Ooh, yeah. We can
Like
work
that,
that.
like the cause and effect, I think, episode of Next Generation, where Data makes himself keep seeing the number 3. God, that episode is so good.
For this week's bet, we bet on King of Fighters 14. We would start arcade mode. Turned out there wasn't arcade mode. There was story mode on the hardest difficulty. Turns out that was difficulty 5 out of 5. How long would it take for our random character to survive the first match of the hardest difficulty in story mode?
First person of the,
Yeah.
first round or whatever.
Brandon Jones, you bet 30 seconds. Michael Damiani bet 38 seconds. Brad Ellis bet 25. I bet 31 seconds. And Don Casanova bet 36 seconds. The actual time we survived was 23 seconds.
According to my phone, according to the game, it was 16,
Which is crazy.
which is weird.
that there's a 5-second difference between your actual phones keeping time and
And
the game.
I hit start slightly after the game said go.
Yeah. I gotta blame the console, man.
If we'd had that Neo, it would have been powerful.
If we had
process
PC,
time
yeah, if we had
correctly.
PC or Neo, it would have
Yeah.
been alright.
It can process time correctly. It's tough.
Neo's gonna be 10 pounds heavy.
It's gonna think about how accurate it'll be at keeping time though.
Yeah, it'll be like and
It's
just
gonna be
like
nuts.
yeah.
It's the frame rate, really.
Yeah.
Let's
slowing
talk
that
about
clock
what
down.
those 10 pounds could mean. So
Big
anyway,
video card.
Ian, as the winner of that bet,
Oh.
actually, no. I don't want to be that crude because there are things that like it is a big deal. That's 10 pounds because it means that there's a lot of cooling. But okay, you know what?
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
cooling, big
Okay.
video
You gotta fit
card.
4Ks in there.
Yeah.
All four
It's
of
not
them.
okay. Oh boy.
Ks are like 2.5 pounds apiece.
Brad's point takes the Green Lizards to 8 points.
Wow.
The Red Eagles have 14.
Caca.
No, Jones, don't do that.
Just underplayed.
Caca.
No, look at our lead, dude. Don't worry. 2 weeks is not a big deal.
What's the
I'm
spread
not
here?
worried. This isn't what
This,
we're worried.
it doesn't feel as dire though. Is
It's a
it?
6
9
point
to
spread.
13?
It's a
Yeah.
6 point spread.
We're coming back.
We're coming
We're
up.
on the
8 to
rise.
14. 8 to
Yeah.
14.
8 to 14. We're
Yeah.
coming up on
Yep.
you.
You lose Don though once you're 2 points away.
Fine.
It's like badminton.
And then if we go to 3 points away, they don't get Don back. They only get Don back if it goes to 10, right?
Yeah.
Ah.
So hold on, in badminton, if you're losing by too much, a third person hops onto the court
Uh-huh,
to
yeah.
help you out.
And you got to win by 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So Ian, since you were in Brad's seat, you win the right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle. You get to promote any video from Easy Allies that you would like to. You get the final word on anything you've disagreed with or want to reiterate throughout this podcast, and you get to sign off with your trademark sign off.
Okay. I am at Ian Hink, Hinck. The video I would like to promote is the most recent episode of Easy Update, Bounding. I got everybody to dance, and it's real feel good.
It's juicy.
Oh man, it just fills me with joy every time I look at it. And then I get to disagree with someone.
No, you get the final word.
Final word.
Yeah.
Portal's a puzzle game. You stupid weirdo. Like, come on. Puzzle game forever. Oh, every inch of that game is a puzzle. Good night and good game.
So we're about to resolve the bet this week. We're playing King of Fighters 14. We've set the difficulty to 5 of 5. That is the highest difficulty the game has for us. Don, go ahead and click story.
Wait, is no timing this?
Well, the game will time it for us, but yeah, might as well time it at the same time.
So it's from...
We can skip this, right? This stuff doesn't matter. From the
doesn't matter.
Start-
Might be a
yeah,
little-
what the hell's
wrong with
might be
John,
a little
This is
much.
the intro video.
skip,
Don't know if I agree with these sentiments.
skip.
Yes, Captain.
Okay. It's a good song.
So
Right,
character
right.
has to be random. You gotta go team random in the bottom left-hand corner.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so from the
Whoa,
word fight.
Freddy Krueger up.
It's
Okay.
from the word fight, correct?
Well, when the timer starts in the
Right.
game.
Antonov.
Oh, you want to skip this? No.
Hey, this looks really good.
He can pull cigars out of that championship belt.
Cool.
Of course.
Is that
Really cool.
Yep.
Well, I like a functional champion belt.
So Brad had the low bet with 25 seconds. Jones, you had 30. I had 31. Damiani had 38. Don has 36. These are the stakes right now.
Alright. Please pick fighting order.
Yeah, just here. Can I just do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mature.
Ben, why did you pick that guy first?
I just did it from
Seemed
right to
deliberate.
left.
Okay.
That's all. There was no thought.
This
Alright,
guy's
here
got
we
a
go.
lot of HP, Ben.
Seemed deliberate.
wasn't deliberate. I'm sorry.
Here we go. Stay alive, buddy. Stay alive. Oh, he's going down fast.
Oh
Wow.
no. Oh wait.
Oh, no, this will not last long.
It's the first character death, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did the controller talk?
Yeah.
Oh, audio comes out of it.
Oh, man. That's it.
23
16 seconds.
I am the
seconds.
King of Fighters. Thank you very much.
Brad is the king of fighters.
Thank you very much. That's
The
right.
game timer is different than real time.
I'm turned
Is it really what you
I read
had?
it for you,
23?
Brad.
23.
Thank you.
Well,
Appreciate
Brad wins regardless.
From the word go.
Yeah, all right.
That's all big boys.
Duh.
Look at that big boy.
Chang's the best.
This guy would have lasted 30 seconds.